The Raptors have officially re-signed and committed their future to Scottie Barnes and Immanuel Quickley, but what can we really expect from these players, and could this duo really bring a championship back to the city of Toronto? Let's get into it. The Toronto Raptors held a press conference today with Masai Ujiri, Scottie Barnes, and Immanuel Quickley all featuring, where Masai Ujiri was adamant on winning, and not just winning, but winning in Toronto. And he actually guaranteed bringing the championship back to the city, and clearly, with the new contracts being given out to Scottie Barnes and to Immanuel Quickley, the team wants to build that championship roster around these two players. So what can we really expect out of the duo? How far can they take this team? That's what we are going to be trying to uncover over the course of this video. But before we do that, we want to talk about the actual contracts that these players signed. First of all, we did do a full video on the Scottie Barnes contract, but there is a bit more clarity to the situation right now. It was reported originally that it was a 5-year rookie max extension worth up to $270 million. That $270 million provided a lack of clarity. Again, probably should have looked into it a little bit more, but essentially, with the bonuses associated with the contract, it could be up to $270 million eventually. However, the contract that Barnes signed, just along with the other players from his draft class who signed rookie max extensions, would be around $225 million over 5 years. And essentially, with that contract, it was one of the easiest decisions Masai Ujiri has ever had to make in his tenure with the Raptors. You have a 22-year-old sensation here who was an all-star in his third NBA season. Yeah, there are players who have done less than that who got rookie max extensions, including players in Scottie Barnes' draft class, like Cade Cunningham and Franz Wagner, who did get rookie max extensions, and probably deservedly so. But for the Raptors, again, this was an easy decision. Scottie Barnes is clearly the centerpiece of the team going forward. This is the player they are truly committing to building around, and one of the players they feel as though fits really well with that future with Scottie Barnes is Immanuel Quickley, who they have re-signed on a 5-year deal worth $175 million. Now, we didn't do a full video on this one, so essentially, with the Immanuel Quickley contract, it shows that there was a lot of faith in this guy as the team's point guard of the future. They put a lot of faith in him in trading OG Anunoby away just before the turn of the year, just before the calendar flipped to 2024. They traded OG Anunoby to the New York Knicks, got back RJ Barrett, but really who they were targeting in the trade. As much as RJ Barrett has been fantastic for the Raptors, the guy that we're really seeking out of this trade seems evident to me that it was Immanuel Quickley. And Masai Ujiri was so excited to get Immanuel Quickley involved in this project and get involved with the future of this team around Scottie Barnes once again. So there was a lot of faith put in Immanuel Quickley when they traded for him, and clearly there was a big vote of confidence in the player to give him a contract, 5 years, $35 million a year. Now, I was kind of estimating that Immanuel Quickley's value would be in the high 20s on a yearly basis, and I was hoping the Raptors would keep this one under $32 million, so it's a little bit higher than I would have anticipated, and honestly, it's a little bit higher than I want it to be. That being said, the contract is fine. $35 million per year is fine. It looks fine right now and only has the potential to look better over the years as the salary cap increases and hopefully as Immanuel Quickley continues to develop in this position for the Raptors, just as he was doing in the second half of the season. The reality is that Immanuel Quickley's contract, it's backloaded and it's going to be worth right around 20% of the cap over the next 5 years, starting at 21% and then decreasing down to around 19%. So again, a bit more than expected, but big vote of confidence in the player from the franchise. This contract absolutely is fine. But these two players together, is this the winning combination? Is this the winning duo for the Raptors to start building this championship team around? We're going to answer that in just a second here. I want to let you guys know this is Amateur Sports, the YouTube channel completely dedicated to Toronto Raptors content and videos like this as well as live streams. Get subscribed to the channel. Drop a like if you enjoy this one along the way. So once again, going back to this press conference here, Masai Ujiri guaranteed that he would bring a championship back to Toronto. And it kind of feels like a little bit, I wouldn't say that we're back here, but we're back to having the confidence in the team. Masai Ujiri said that the season was a shame for the team. It was a shame for all of us. And it absolutely was a damn shame how the season went down. Masai Ujiri has always been one for winning. He's always been one for championships. And he even said in the press conference that sports is about winning. It's nice to have somebody with that level of a mentality, to have that winning mentality with the team. Maybe sometimes that causes a few ailments because he invests too hard in a team that maybe isn't worth investing in. But I like the new sort of phrase being put around the team right now that was used for the first time at the media availability today, which was the future starts now. The future starts now. You know, we're ushering in a real new era here. It kind of felt like it was a new era when Kyle Lowry left, but you know, the era kind of prolonged. Perhaps that era overstayed its welcome. But we've really hit the refresh now. Lowry's gone. Van Vliet's gone. Siakam is gone. Anunoby is gone. This is a really new team to start completely fresh with. And even like a new coach here in Darko Rajakovic, who's only been here for one season. This really is a new era beginning in Toronto. But as much as, winning is wanted, and it seems like from a front office perspective, winning is expected from this franchise, it's definitely going to be a work in progress here. The reality is that we are well into free agency here. The Raptors have not made any additions to the team in the free agency period as of yet. The only move they have made since free agency opened up was bringing back Garrett Temple. It was a cheap deal, 1-year deal, and a nice veteran presence to have around the team, but nothing additional was brought into the team. The only additions that have been made were through the trade, the phenomenal trade with the Sacramento Kings that brought David Mitchell to the team. Also brought Sasha Vezenkov, but it doesn't look like he's going to be playing with the Raptors. That situation needs to get sorted out. That's a conversation for another day. It doesn't look like he'll be with the Raptors. But also, they did a lot of their work in the draft. Drafting Jacoby Walter with a 19th overall pick. Jonathan Mobo, 31st overall. Jamal Shed, 45th overall, who actually could have an immediate impact to the team. And also, a guy for the future, potentially in 57th overall pick, Ulrich Shamshay. And looking forward to seeing those guys in Summer League. But the point is, they haven't done a lot to really bolster this team right away. So as much as that trade with the Kings made it seem like, okay, they really want to put things right this season, it's definitely going to be a work in progress. Usually the offseason, like this sort of media availability on a yearly basis gets people hyped about the team, hyped about what the team can accomplish. And I feel as though, I am certainly a little bit more excited about the team after seeing this press conference, but, keeping the expectations in check here, it's going to be really difficult for this team to make the playoffs. Without those additions, without the extra pieces coming to the team, obviously that could still be rectified, but, this team clearly needs more wing defense. They didn't really add on much of that in the offseason. This team clearly needs more rim protection, and it definitely didn't do anything about that in the offseason. As much as, they've sorted out a bit of the backup point guard dilemma with David Mitchell, potentially Jamal Shed, there's still a lot of work that needs to be put into this team, but it doesn't necessarily mean that this team needs to rush things. As far as the people that they're building this team around, Scottie Barnes is a do-it-all star. Like I said, he's already been an all-star at 22, 23 years old. Like, this is incredible level of talent that you have in this player, and it's fully worth investing in this player. All these conversations about Scottie Barnes, he can't be the first option, people crying, oh my goodness, he can't be the first option. You don't know that. Like, he's so young and already so talented. Why can't this player continue to climb? Why can't he continue to shock the league? Like, nobody expected anything close to a Rookie of the Year campaign out of him in his first season, and he did that. Nobody certainly would have expected after his second season that maybe left a bit to be desired. Nobody expected him to burst out the gates and be an all-star, a freaking all-star in his third NBA season. So why can't he still continue to defy the odds? Why can't he still progress and become the player that the team really needs him to be if they want to be this true contender? And as far as Immanuel Quickley, really shining in this bigger and more prominent role that he's been afforded since coming to the Raptors. If he can really develop his skills as a point guard, as a floor general, this could be an excellent fit next to Scottie Barnes for the pull-up threat that he possesses, the potential playmaking that he possesses. He will have to sharpen that up a little bit. He definitely will have to sharpen up his interior scoring, but there is a lot to like here. And there's a lot to like about the foundation in place for the Raptors. It's just going to be about filling in the parts, and it's going to require a lot of internal development. So what the Raptors really need to focus on this season, above all else, I mean, obviously we want to win, we want to get to the playoffs, but above all else, with the investment that has gone into Barnes and Barrett with these new contracts, the investment that is already in place for a guy like RJ Barrett, the big thing, if this team wants to step up to the next level, to get to a championship level, like, it is so hard to get to that level. But the biggest thing they're going to have to do is internal development. Work with the players. Look, they drafted 4 guys. Put in the work to get these guys to the next level. Davion Mitchell still on his rookie deal. Put the work to get this guy to the next level. The next level, the reason he was drafted with a lottery pick by the Sacramento Kings. The work needs to be put in with the 2 guys you've just been given these big contracts to fill in the shoes, to fill what that contract proposes they can be for the team. All of that is going to have to come into play this season. Darko Rajakovic has been touted as this developmental guru of a coach. We need to see that in action this season. We need to see progress this season. I think there's potential for the Raptors to make the playoffs this season. I think there's potential for the Raptors to fall off the pace and end up tanking this season. There's a wide range of outcomes of what this team could be. But at the very least, we need to see progress. And the confidence needs to be instilled in the fan base that this is a foundation that we can get behind and we can believe in. Until we see that, can't really make any comment as far as a championship is concerned. It's great that we want to get there. We want to get back to that point. It's great that Masai Ujiri wants to put in the work to win a championship in the city of Toronto, but the foundation needs to be put into place this season. A ton of work is needed to be done. But if all that can be executed, if you can get things right this season, start the future of this team, because like they said, the future starts now. I don't see why this team can't go all the way in the next 5-6 years, end up being a contender, potentially threatening for an NBA championship. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work from every party involved, and it's absolutely not going to be easy, nor should it be an expectation that we get there. But that is what we want to do. Let's start to make it happen. The future starts now. Can't wait to see where this team goes, but what do you make about the future of the franchise and what I said over the course of the video? Give me your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. That's all for me for today. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to Amateur Sports for more Raptors content, and I will see you again next time for another video.